Right. So we're going to start looking at the logical reasoning section of the open mock. In my opinion, the overall section is probably easy to moderate level. Yes, there were one or two questions which are a bit tricky. There is one, in fact, the first set of input output is also a bit not on the easy side. It's actually a bit difficult, but otherwise, quite a few of the questions could be done. The most important learning for you is that you should be, as far as logical reasoning section is concerned, you should be very comfortable with verbal reasoning, because we had, in fact, even in actual NMAT this year, there were around 20 plus questions coming from verbal reasoning in the logical reasoning section. So today's session, or rather the mock, also had similarly somewhere around 23 questions from the verbal reasoning part. So you should be very comfortable with verbal reasoning to score high in your logical reasoning section. Let's go ahead and take a look at the questions in this section. Starting with the first four questions, it's an input-output set. In my opinion, this is not a straightforward set, because there are a lot of concepts, not actually concepts, a lot of different ways in which students can think, but this is not a very straightforward set. Usually input output, you can see and look at the pattern and identify it. This doesn't work like that. In fact, this year in NMAT also, there was one set like this when I wrote the NMAT exam. In fact, I've done the NMAT exam analysis on YouTube. You can look at that. But there also I found that there is one set which is not straightforward at all. So this is something like that. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is the logic for this set. So the input values, you can notice that there are 6 input values, but the remaining are only 5. So somehow the 6 values are turning out to be 5. So 400 is basically 20 square, 625 is 25 square, 961 is 31 square, 576 is 24 square, 121 is 11 square, and before this we have 12, 0, 8, 17, 14, 10 and 0, 1. Now if you closely observe, you'll notice that 12 plus 8 is 20, 8 plus 17 is 25, 17 plus 14 is 31, 14 plus 10 is 24, and 10 plus 1 is 11. So the first step is got by adding the above two things which are consecutive. Now once you get this, you'll have to understand, how did I get 64? So the step number 2 is got by looking at the sum of the digits, sum of the digits and squaring them, or rather cubing them, because 64 is 4 cube, right? 64 is 4 cube. So this is basically 200, so this is 400. I'm just writing down the actual values. This is 625, this is 961, 576 and 121. So this is your step number 1. Step number 2, basically to go from here to here, you're looking at sum of the digits and then cubing. So 4 cube is 64. 625 total is 6 plus 2 plus 5. 6 plus 2 is 8. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 8 plus 5 is 13. So 13 cube, this is 13 cube, is 2197. Then 961, if you add the digits, 9 plus 6 is 15 plus 1 is 16. 16 cube should be 4096. Then if you add this, 7 plus 5 is 12, 12 plus 6 is 18. So this is 18 cube. And again, 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4, so 4 cube is 64. So your step 3, the logic is to add the digits and then cube it. Then you want to look at step 3 from 2. How do you get step number 3? Now the step number 3 is a single digit number. So what is happening here? Once again, if you notice, the logic here is you multiply 6 into 4, 24. Then the answer that you get of the product, add the sum of the digits. Once again, it's very convoluted. It's not very straightforward. That's why I said the set is not very easy to crack. Ideally, if you get a set like this in the NMAT exam, if you can't crack the logic behind it in the first 1 minute or so, you should go ahead, mark randomly and get out. Don't waste your time on a set like this. Okay, it does happen. You will get questions like this. So if you look at it, 64 is 20, 6 into 4 is 24, 24 is 2 plus 4, which is 6. Similarly, 13 cube is 2197. So 2197, basically it is 2 into 1 into 9 into 7. 7 9 is 63. So 63 into 2 is 126. Now if you add all the digits, it is 9. Similarly, 4096, if you multiply all of them, it is 0, because there is already a 0 in it. So if you multiply all the digits, it is 4 into 0 into 9 into 6, which is 0. Now addition of the digits now will become 0 itself. Similarly, you'll get a 6 and a 6. And now to get the fourth step from the third step, the logic applied is ascending order. So 0, 6, 6, 6 and 9, ascending order. So this is the logic that has been applied. So let's apply the same thing for this 0, 7, 11, 19, 0, 5, 13 and 9 and 0, 9. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. 0, 7, 11. So let me write this down. I have 0, 7, 11. Then I have a 19, 0, 5. I have 19, 0, 5. Then the last two numbers are 13 and 0, 9. So I have So I have 13 and I think 0, 9. Let me just confirm. Yes, 13 and 0, 9. So let me apply the stepwise the same thing what I did just now. So 7 plus 11 is 18. So I'll be looking at 18 square. Similarly, 11 plus 19 is 30. So 30 square. 19 plus 5 is 24. So 24 square. 5 plus 13. 5 plus 13 is 18. So 18 square. And 13 plus 9 is 22 square. So basically, what are these? So this is still step number 1. I'm just writing down the values. So 18 square will be 324. 30 square will be 900. 24 square will be 576. 18 square will be again 324. And 22 square will be 484. So this is just step number 1. Now, if you want to look at step number 2, how do I get step number 2? If you remember this, step number 2 basically is got by adding the sum of the digits. So 400, you added 4 plus 0 and then took a cube of it. Similarly, here also we're looking at 3 plus 2 plus 4. So 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. So 9 cube. Similarly, here it is 9 cube. 7 plus 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 plus 6 is 18. So 18 cube. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 4 is again 9 cube. 484, 8 plus 4 is 12, 12 plus 4 is 16, 16 cube. So what are these values? 9 cube is 729, next is also 729. Now 18 cube, we already had it in the previous, the example 5832, then again 729 and 4096. This is just step number 2. Now to get to step number 3, what did they do? They took the product of all of them. They took the product. So if you look at it in the example, so 6 into 4 is 24. So they took 6 into 4 is 24, and this 24 they added 2 plus 4 and you got it as 6. That's how you got the 6. Similarly, 13 cube basically was 2196, 2197. You take the product of all of them, then add the digits. That's how you got it as 9. So that's basically what we need to do. So 729, I need to take the product of 7 into 2 into 9. So 7 into 2 into 9 is 14 into 9. 9 4s are 36. 9 1s are 9, 10, 11, 12, 126. So if you add 1 plus 2 plus 6, this should be 9. So this is 9. So similarly, this will also be 9. Now 5, 8, 3, 2. Now here, don't waste your time. 5 and 2 are there. So 5, 8, 3, 2. So 5 into 8 into 3 into 2. So 5 into 2 gives you 10. So this is 10 and 8 3s are 24. So this should be 240. So 240 is 2 plus 4 plus 0, which is 6. Then 729 is again 9, but here there is a 0. So if you're multiplying 4 into 0 into 9 into 6, it will be a 0. So you'll make it as 0. So this is just step number 3. And then you're getting step number 4. How do you get it? Arrange them in ascending order. So you have 0, 6, 9, 9, 9. This is your output for the given input. So now the first question says, 4 of the following 5 numbers are present in one of the steps for the given input. Find the one that isn't present in any of the steps. So clearly 729 is there, so that is not your answer. 324 is also there, you can see here, so that is not your answer. 9 is there and 4096. So only 384 is not present. So that is your answer. Right? So if you look at the next question, how many positive numbers are divisible by 2 in step number 4? Now, quickly, if you look at step number 4, only 2 numbers, in fact, these 2 are divisible by 2. So 0 is divisible by 2 and 6 is also divisible by 2. So you're going to look at 2 numbers. Positive, okay, positive. So 0 is not positive, so that's the trap. Only 0 and 6, 2 numbers, but 0 is not a positive number, so only 1 number. So don't fall into the trap, right? So be careful. So option B. Then what is the sum of the third number from the left in step number 4 and third number from the right in step number 2? So let's look at step number 2 and step number 4 and see what is happening. So step number 2, it is this number, and step number 4, it is this number. So we are looking at 5832, 5832 plus 9. So this will be 5841. So your answer should be 5841. Whichever option that is should be your answer. So 5841 is option number E. Then we have the next question, Right, so question number 4, what is the product of all the numbers present in step number 4? If you remember the step number 4, we had 06999. So the product clearly has a 0 in it. So it should be, the answer should be option A, because 0 into anything is 0, right? So this set, ideally, I would rate it as a difficult set because there were too many things to be taken care of. Squares, cubes, and not just that, some of the digits, product of the digits. So I would ideally rate this as a difficult question. So if you did not get it, you shouldn't worry about it. But yes, you should not have wasted time on it, not more than 2 minutes. You didn't get the logic, randomly mark and get out.